Yes, sir. Welcome to the Money Down, the Believe Network. Man, I mean, we got a good game going on right now, so we're gonna do something a little bit different. We're gonna have to watch the end of this live with everybody who's tuning in. It's real close ball game, Celtics Knicks. It's been a great series. Knicks up 7 points right now, so we're gonna see how this one finishes out, man. The Celtics definitely need this one. I wouldn't be surprised if they could come back down, 3-1 and OG. Woo!
Iced them. Hey, my TV a little, you know what I'm saying? My TV a little late. Y'all boys.
Punch.
Man, oh shit. Now Tatum down.
Oh, look, we got somebody, man. This Celtics shot selection makes me so mad. Yeah, bro. We was talking about that.
This Tatum Jordan Kobe moment, bro. He gonna come back, minute on the clock, spark something. We gotta win.
I mean, he been sparking the whole game for real. He got
that's
40.
He been balling.
They just fall in love with that three. Every around 5-6 minutes left in the game, them boys would not attack.
JT hurt.
He hurt.
Yeah, let him down.
Ankle too. Damn.
Yeah, it's tough, man. The Celtics had high expectations, coming to the year, which, like I said, it's not the end all be all. Even if they lose this game, they can potentially still win this series. It's going to take a lot. To me, you're
not coming back 3-1, bro.
they can come back. They can do it.
Next game in Boston.
You gotta win.
Take some momentum,
bro. You gotta win 4 games. Well, no, 3 games. You gotta win 3 games in a row.
It's been done. It's been done.
Of course, a lot of things have been done, but no, bro.
It ain't easy.
It's over with. It's over with, man.
Yeah. If Tatum hurt for sure, it's like Jaylen Brown can hold his own, but yeah, without the both of them, it's a little bit different. Then it'd be a little out of sorts. Man, I say it again. I picked the Knicks to win this series. Coming in just because I thought they matched up, pretty well. What I will say, man, the Celtics, this was their series. The first 2 games, they let it slip out of their hands, giving up those 2, 20-point leads and back-to-back games, losing up. Those type of losses hurt, man, because you play so well for whatever 3.5 quarters or 3 quarters in the third, and then boom, you trying to catch back on fire, and you try to catch back on fire them last couple minutes, and then the Knicks are rolling. So it's tough.
You can't even see what he hurt. You couldn't even see it.
I think it's it looked like his ankle. He
might have said step wrong, but it didn't look like it rolled or nothing. I don't know.
It's tough, man. For the Celtics fans who are in here, if I ain't gonna say that yet. I ain't gonna say all that. What's the predictions for the Warriors? I like them Wolves, man. I
got the Wolves. Yeah.
The Warriors. I mean, they can always crank up at any given time. We know that, but I think
he's done, y'all boys.
Yeah, he getting carried off. It's tough. JB trying to
ice the man. It's over. It's over with.
I'm taking Jalen Brunson in the clutch over Luka. I'm telling you, that's my opinion. Luka great in the clutch too, but I don't know. JB is just somehow in these big time moments, this dude, he just finds a way to make baskets, and it's all sorts of ways. Threes, attacking the basket, it's post ups. It's pretty crazy. It's tough. But I mean,
it's over. But this series
is Harden got to be rocking that next game, man. Got to be fans definitely got to show up, man. If no Tatum too, that's gonna be
rocking or not, bro.
Did they say what they said?
Knicks in 6. Knicks in 6.
You gonna give us a whole Shannon Sharp stanza for Knicks in 6?
Nah.
Be your best one.
You see, Shannon did that. Them boys got bounced first round. To answer Lowe's question, man, I think the Wolves still today. I think though, if the Warriors are able to get Waddell, Stephen Curry, they get him back, man. I see maybe the Warriors pulling this series out, but no Steph.
He's out the next game for sure, right?
Yeah. I think they said game 6. I think they say game 6 would be his targeting game to come back. So
in wheelchair, they got him in a wheelchair. Dang. So So it must be.
I wonder if it was an
pretty
Achilles.
soon. I don't know. I mean, you never know what it may be.
Yeah,
Definitely prayers up for Tatum though, man.
Yeah, for sure.
He was gaming. He was cooking up these last, couple games. Obviously a lot of criticism been going on about his play the first couple games. Fall in love with the three and everything, but I mean, he was hitting them tonight. But still, I feel like he could have been more aggressive. Even at the final few minutes of this fourth quarter. But it's tough to see him go down because obviously the
crying, y'all boys.
Yeah. Series ain't gonna be the same without Jason Tatum out there on the floor. It's gonna be very, very difficult for this team to come back from down 3-1 without Jason Tatum out there. But I would love to see Jaylen Brown rise to the occasion.
We was talking about that before we before we went live. Like, just them sharing the time. Obviously, with a lot of guys nowadays, they obviously want their spotlight or they want to be the guy. And this is opportunity. I mean, bad circumstances to be down 3-1, but you can definitely solidify yourself if you're able to make this comeback. I think it's only been done once, right, by Bron, and which that was crazy.
That was crazy.
But they got the team to do it. They got the guys around them to do it. That's why I can't see, like, if it did happen, if this Celtics team was to come back from down 3-1, would I be shocked? Yeah, just because of just the math of the games. And again, these are professional players. You got to win 3 in a row. But the guys around the seas can do it. Porzingis will have to step up. Obviously, JB, White, Richard, White, Horford. But they have the guys with the experience to do it. So it's gonna be an interesting
better shot selection.
But bro, live and die by the 3. Like they're one of those teams. I want to say the first 2 games, right? I think they shot something like 75 threes.
Yeah, they missed
and they missed 45 of them in one game, right? But if it's something that you live and die by, you got to stick with it. You can't switch up now.
Yeah, for sure. And they're gonna have to shoot themselves out of this joint because I mean that's really what they've been doing successfully all year long. You just gotta hope those shots fall. But it's a tough spot. Yeah, man. Looks like the Knicks gonna pull away with this one. Ooh, it's tough. I know my Celtics fans. I know it's frustrating. Definitely frustrating to watch for sure. But it ain't over. I will say that it ain't over, man. Like we've seen it done before. This team's fully capable. I mean, without Jason Tatum, it's extremely tough. But we'll see what happens. When it comes to this, we'll take this game and be up. Pritchard just hit a 3. So what's a 7-point game?
I was about to say. The crazy thing is, right, is I think after game, what is this, game 5? What is this, 4? Game 4. So after game 3, right, we seen some clips out there. Celtics fans was and they'll give you buck. I know C's fans are going to be calling for a lot of change because we know that Boston sports fan base is used to winning championships, but they also very tough. So this is gonna be a tough off season. If it's a gentleman's sweep of 4-1, it's gonna be a tough off. It's gonna be a bad off season for everybody.
I mean, I honestly could see it happening. I mean, who knows who it may be? Not like head coach or nothing, but I could see potentially Jaylen Brown, going somewhere else or something like that. I mean, that's just kind of the way things.
Contract.
Yeah, the Bulls, y'all gotta get on the phone. Yeah, I mean, we better get on
Chicago.
We better get on the phone too. We need some help.
Losing to the Heat
immediately. Go ahead.
No. I'm gonna save that comment for when we talk about what I'm gonna save that. But Pat Riley need to get his shit together, bro.
Pat tripping. I mean, shoot, we on the topic of the NBA, man. We might as well just go straight to one of the biggest topics at hand. We had the NBA draft lottery tonight, and the Dallas Mavericks just so happened to get the They had like the smallest odds to get the pick, and they got it. Everybody's been saying. I mean, I do think it was doctored up a little bit because they
gotta be.
Of course,
you trade away Luka, then you end up with the number 1 overall.
Just to get the number 1 overall.
Bro, it's like winning the lotto, fam. Like it's people out there that really win the lotto, like $300 million. Same thing you saying. Ain't no way, bro. How? and they just so happened to win. I will say,
I don't think we ever been to the moon. For sure ain't the only ones out there, dog.
Sojourn's Conspiracy Corner.
We ain't seen that in a minute.
We ain't seen that in a minute. Bron said, he sent out the tweet. He just put like 10 laughing emojis. I think he said something about it being rigged a little bit or something. So I don't know.
What you think, Warren?
Bro, it's just a coincidence, bro. You gotta give the Mavs back something that they lost. Like, yeah, it's gotta be doctored up, bro. Like, to have the lowest, and I don't think we've ever seen that. And please correct me if I'm wrong, if we've ever seen a team with that low of odds getting the lottery pick. I can't remember. I don't ever remember saying. Again, we know probabilities and things like that.
Was it the Magic?
I don't know.
I can't remember. I know it was something around the Magics when they got Shaq and Penny or so, around back then. I don't know, but maybe I can't remember.
But it's just like it's just so interesting to me, right? Like you made a decision to allow Luka to move to LA, right? And now everybody's looking at you thinking about, oh, there's some deal making going behind the scenes, people trying to start this new team in Vegas, so on and so forth. And now you want to get them the first pick because you think people are gonna forget about it. You think it's gonna blow over. Oh, Dallas got a new star in town. Everything's all good. This just layered onto it. You should have just left it the way it was. I really do think that it was tampered with, to be honest with you.
Yeah, y'all boys, AD and cool fam with Kyrie.
Yeah, that's boys
stay healthy. They're going to the finals, bro. With what's the other center that come off the bench?
Gafford.
Bro, they're going to the finals, man. They stay healthy, bro. They win the championship.
That's a big if.
That's a big if. That's a big if.
That is a big.
And it's LeBron. And this year was LeBron's last year.
Yeah, it's funny. LeBron definitely tight.
In my opinion.
Bron definitely tight. He probably like, man. He probably
Oh my God.
Bron definitely tight. I that's why he put the laughing face.
He put like 10 of laughing emojis.
The boy got a squad that quick, man. That's pretty crazy though. So looks like Cooper Flag potentially, most likely, will be the #1 overall pick. So to pair him up with Kyrie, AD, man, that's gonna be kind of crazy to watch. I'm excited to see how that shakes out. But we'll turn the page to some NFL news, man. Well, what NFL team do you guys believe had the best offseason as far as free agency, draft, all that, as far as, we all know who won.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it. I ain't going to say it.
Yeah, we all know who that boy
was. They had a good offseason, though.
They had a great offseason.
Yeah. I do think the Patriots had a great offseason as well, but I won't say them. Who should I run with this? I mean, I might say Philly, like, once again, it's this team.
Bro, I don't know what it, bro. Philly, whatever they be doing over there, bro.
I told y'all like 2 years ago, he got dirt on somebody. He got dirt or something on somebody that can really make some stuff shake. There's no way, bro. And then the trades and stuff, like, I don't think they made any big trades this offseason, but in previous years, it's been like trading somebody literally away for a bag of peanuts. And it's like, bro, there's no way you traded him for a 5th round pick 2 years later. Like, it just makes no sense, bro. Howie is a magician when it comes to it. I don't know, but Philly continue to do it year in and year out, bro.
Yeah, and they lose some talent too, but they're able to,
for sure.
They re-sign Zach Vaughn. They go out and get a couple more Georgia, Alabama players and all that in the draft. Keep retooling that whole thing, and I think that's a ton of credit to, obviously, Howie Roseman, what he's been able to do as far as, finding the talent and finding guys that can replace some of the veteran guys that you lose and come in and make an immediate impact. Because this team is going to be very good for, many years. They got a lot of young, talented players mixed with, a few vets. But a lot of these guys are young football players. So I really like what they're doing, coming off a Super Bowl championship and still acquiring good talent. I'm gonna say Philly had a pretty good offseason. I don't know who y'all rolling with when it comes to this.
And to add on to that, I think I seen something like Justin Simmons wants to go play there. Right? Like, yeah, bro, it's just it makes no sense.
Wow.
It no sense. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go New England. I think New England had a really, really good offseason. Obviously, adding Diggs for a young quarterback like Drake May. They had some pieces in the receiver room already, but anything to lighten up, we know a lot of the coverages and stuff is all off of, trying to stop a key person. And a lot of the times, Diggs is going to be double teamed or shaded too. So that's going to give a lot of young guys and even some of the older guys in that room like KB an opportunity for a lot of one-on-ones to be able to work their magic. I look at the moves they made on the defensive line. Like, we know that it's all about generating pressure and getting to the quarterback. It was able to add some pieces there as well. The draft, they drafted super well, right? They drafted super well, which the draft is one of those things it can make or break you, right? You either going to hit on some players or some people just not going to come through. And I think the guys they were able to select can all make an impact right away. My favorite, Trey Hand out of O State. I'm really looking forward to him being another Sweet Feet 2.0, just being super reliable. He can block out the backfield. He can catch out the backfield. He can run the ball extremely well. He need to cut on some of that 2.8 tape, from a couple years ago, and holler at you, bro. Get some advice. Like, that's the type of things that take you to the next level.
Yeah, I mean, I got word from a little birdie that they tapped into that right now. So we they tapped into some of that tape right now. So they'll be right, man.
Yeah.
They're gonna get right.
Watch this. I'm gonna make you a special clip. Watch this.
Go ahead, Warren. We know you're gonna say happy days.
I'm not. You're gonna be surprised. You're gonna be shocked. I thought we had an amazing offseason. I thought we did really good in the draft. I think that first round pick for 2026 is gonna be big for us because I think Atlanta's gonna bomb the season. No offense, Soj. But I think we're gonna get it early with that Atlanta pick. I'm sorry, bro. Now we got two first round picks, but I don't think that we had the out of all the teams, I don't think we had the best. I actually want to say Seattle had a very good draft and offseason this year. I mean, like, picking up Sam Darnold was huge in the offseason. Yeah. Even from a draft standpoint, you answer some questions on the offensive line. Nick Emenwari, I think, was one of the best DBs on the back end coming out of the draft. You pick up that tight end out of Miami who was really good this year. You answer a tight end question. Then they went and got Jalen Milroe, who I think is a sleeper in the draft from a quarterback standpoint. That boy gonna be a playmaker. And you know what? He been, bro, for what they've been saying, he been balling. So I think he's gonna do a lot of good things for them. And then also, like, I was a big fan of that Torrey Horton pick from Colorado State. Very physical receiver, another big receiver to put on the outside and fill that spot that DK Metcalf left. So really good. I'm excited to see how the division, how good the division is going to look. Now, I think they drafted really well to get them to that number 2 spot in the division behind LA. But that's just me.
Yeah,
I wanted to say, bro, you not being, you could have said LA, fam, because that's what you really wanted to say.
No. I'm keeping it a being with you. I don't think that we had the best draft out of all 32 teams. I think we had a really good offseason, and I think we did well to put us in a good place to win the division, make playoffs, and set us up for a Super Bowl run.
And then another thing,
crazy, but
we got a whole bunch of viewers that wasn't in on that. Why you keep hating on Atlanta? It's been a lot of Atlanta.
That boy full-blown Atlanta.
Hey.
It's been week after week. Like, throw a little jab in there, like Atlanta this. Like, bro, what we did?
Y'all play this year? Do the Falcons Rams play this year?
I ain't gonna lie, bro. We all love sweets, fam. We gotta bet like a piece of cake or something.
A piece of cake. What about a whole cake? Let me get a 6-pack.
Damn. I'm not eating no whole cake, but
you got that.
You save for the week.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie though. If we do play and we beat y'all, bro, I want me a key lime pie, fam. I don't know what bro. You got to figure it out.
So, if we win, which is probably 88% chance that we win that game if we play each other.
80?
I want a 6-pack of crumble cookies. And I ain't talking the minis either. I want a full box.
Crumble. I ain't gonna lie, bro.
12
We
each.
12, yeah, we need to get you a crumble deal,
12
fam. You
each
live
or
and die
16?
by that crumble.
Let me see. Do we play each other
Oh
next year?
man. Hey man, those of you on TikTok, make sure y'all tap into the Money Down podcast. We live streaming on YouTube as well right now. So make sure you tap in with us. We'll keep it with the NFL, man. We had Trey Hendrickson. Some news came out today as far as his contract talks or lack thereof with the Cincinnati Bengals, to where he said there's been really no communication after the season as far as re-upping him and giving him a new deal. Obviously, they paid, T. Higgins, they paid, Jamar Chase, so they got a lot of money invested on the offensive side of things. And, he's looking for his deal, man. This dude's been a top leader in sacks and back-to-back Rex games. He's obviously a very important part to their defense. We've seen this issue kind of happen with them, a couple years ago when they lost Jesse Bates and they lost Von Bell, and the defense, wasn't quite the same. Obviously, they still had Trey Hendrickson, but look, you gotta pay these type of guys, and then for there to be that lack of communication, I think that's a huge thing that goes on in the league. I think a lot of fans like to talk about loyalty, from players to the organization and vice versa. When the players weren't there, that loyalty isn't quite the same from the organization. So I think it's a great indication so fans can really see that perspective. This clearly he wants to be in Cincinnati. He's played well, so why can't he get his deal done? They like to say, okay, we don't want to pay you because we don't know if you can perform still at a high level. You go out there and do it, and then now it's like, oh, we don't think you can do that again. It's like, nah, like I just did it. Like I should get a payment for what I just did this last season, and I'm gonna keep doing it. So I think that's a huge misunderstanding. I think a lot of fans don't really see that perspective. It's almost, not to say he's not making a good amount of money right now, but it's like a lose-lose situation for him. It's like, okay, I'll play on the contract, I'll perform at the highest level, lead the league in sacks, and now you still won't give me a contract. It's like, what more do you want me to do? Like, of course I'm getting older. Play.
What more do you want?
Good. So I don't know how y'all feel about it.
You got it.
He got to be paid, bro. I mean, you talking about an elite pass rusher every season. You talking about consistency, like top 3 leading the league in sacks or the league leader. Like, we talk about how important it is, especially on the defensive side of the ball, to have an elite edge rusher to be able to get pressure on the quarterback. So, and this is a guy that's done it year in and year out. Pay the man his bread, otherwise your defense is going to be that much hurt next year. Yeah. It's just how competitive do you want to be in your division? We've talked about it, joked about it before, but seriously, like, that division is every year one of the toughest divisions in the NFL, if not the toughest division. So why not get you an edge rusher? Heck, the Browns just went and paid Myles Garrett, and you talk about year in and year out, you're just right there, maybe a sack or two above Myles Garrett leading the league. Like, you're putting up the same amount of production and disrupting the game just as easy. Just disrupting the game just as much. You deserve that bread, and if not, go somewhere else that's going to give you the bread. Like, Cincinnati got to figure it out because their defense was horrible last year.
And that's what I was going to say. Since you don't pay him, because there's a team out there in the NFC South, which hold on, you're familiar with that division because you was hooping in New Orleans,
yeah,
and then you end up going to Cincy. Man, come on to the dirty South in the A, man, and get after it. And I think, obviously, I'm a Falcon fan, so I'm going to vouch for them. But I think that's what we was missing last year on the defense, right? Like, our offense slowly progressed, obviously, with the receivers on the outside and, our quarterback being a young buck and kind of getting his shine towards the end late. But as the season went on, we didn't have somebody that I can say is 3rd and 7, put your hand in the dirt and go get the quarterback. And I know we drafted 2 young guys now, and a lot of the young guys now coming into the league are more league ready from a pass rusher standpoint. But I think if we want to take that leap of going into the playoffs and making a deep playoff run, you can't never go wrong with paying, top elite pass rushers. And we're talking about somebody who could have won defensive player of the year last year. Like, he was in that conversation. Right. Man, pay him his bread. He only got maybe one more contract, right? Because he's getting a little older. But pay him his bread and put that team together and try to make a deep playoff run.
That's somebody that's really got a good conversation for why haven't I won Defensive Player of the Year. He's one dude that's really
been consistent. He's been super consistent. But y'all know his names though.
It's names. But I mean,
And the
Why-
market.
Why
he's
doesn't
in.
he have that star power for what he's been able to do year in and year out? Like, what is it? Like, is it he ain't got no sack celebration? Is it because
I mean,
It's the
you
market,
talking about
bro.
he ain't really like been marketed like that. I mean, obviously the
That's
NFL promotion.
Cincinnati? You need to do better.
I mean, that's
Because
not
they market
a
the
big
hell out
market.
of Joe.
Yeah,
Not
you
a
ever
big
been to
market over
Cincinnati?
there.
You ever been to Cincinnati?
Cincinnati, not a big market.
They market the hell out of Joe B and Jamar Chase and all that.
Those dudes
stuff.
already had a
Offensive
market,
players.
but they already
Yeah,
had a
that's
market. before they got
that's
there.
true. That's true.
And,
You know what I
and
mean?
the offensive players, and as they always say, when you scoring touchdowns and you're on the offensive side of the ball, that's what you don't need no marketing for that. You getting that, you touching paint, you getting out of the end zone.
See, fans don't have. See, people don't have the. See, I'm a defensive guy, bro. Like you are, bro. Hey, people don't have enough appreciation for the defensive side of the ball because when you got one guy on that, not one guy, obviously it's a team of 11 players, but when you got an edge rusher like Trey Hendrickson that can affect and change the outcome of the game just because of his pass rushing ability, like that changes so much. Like people don't have enough love for the defensive side of the ball. Like, yeah, you love big hits and things like that, but when you got a guy that can change the outcome of a game just because of his constant production, you gotta market and show him love or some like people gotta see that because if a team scores 0, your team score 3, you win. Regardless how many you don't score at all, you get that one defensive stop that keep a team off the board, you win. Obviously, people want to see the high-scoring games, but it's just as important on the other side of the ball to have that important edge rusher. Edge rushers are just as important as a good quarterback.
No, 100%. I think it go quarterback then edge rusher.
Facts.
And you look at the last recent defensive player of the years, TJ, historic franchise, right?
Yeah.
Market's crazy. Denver last year with Pat. You say what you want. It's up and down, but when Denver is on, they've won Super Bowls. They've been in that conversation of being one of the top franchises in the league. Didn't I say Myles Garrett? But Myles Garrett.
I'm about to say the Browns.
No. But think about it though. Myles Garrett is. I know nothing about Trey. I know nothing about him. As far as like, right. I know what Myles Garrett. I know he like dinosaurs, and I know he like he's in the media. He's freaky athletic.
Workouts.
He show his videos on Instagram. That's all right. That of the freaky. He's dunking all this type of stuff like that. So it's a market for him to be able to go out there and the NFL to market him. I know nothing about Trey. I just know he wear number 91. Sometimes he had the sleeves on, no gloves, and he might have a shield on, and he getting after the quarterback. That's all I know about him. So
sure. Yeah, I get that.
You got to have that star power that comes with you in the league. And today is in the Instagram, social media side of things.
In order to win those type of awards.
Yeah, you gotta promote yourself too. That helps. I will circle back though. We got some people tuning in on TikTok, some people that just joined in on the live stream, asking about the Celtics game and all that. Yes, we tuned into that. It was definitely, kind of. I mean, look, I will say, I say this again. I picked the Knicks to win this series. Yeah. So, look, I do think I thought it would go 7. No Jason Tatum. I feel like that might be a little bit different. It's going to be a lot tougher, for the Celtics to go out there and win this series. Jaylen Brown, he's fully capable. You got a good team around him to really push his game to 7 and try and go the distance and try and come back and win this series. But man, it's tough, man. It's a good basketball team in the Celtics. I think those first 2 losses, going up by 20 in both of those games and losing, that's deflating, man, because really this series should be in the Celtics' hands. You can't be up 20 points in back-to-back games and come back with losses. You're giving the Knicks so much confidence, going forward. And I think that's why they're playing the way they're playing now. I mean, even tonight, like the Celtics were up, around like 8 to 10 points for majority of the game in that third and fourth quarter. And then, once it starts getting close, I feel like the Knicks are starting to thrive in those situations and the Celtics aren't. But I think the Celtics will, they'll rise to the occasion. You're back against the wall now. I mean, it's lose or go home. Going back to your home turf is going to be interesting to watch to see what players really step up, in those type of scenarios, because it's going to be multiple guys, because obviously Jason Tatum, he had like 40 points tonight. He was going crazy. Tough to see him go down, man, because look, he didn't play his best those first couple games, but these last couple, he turned it up a notch. He raised his level of play to where we're used to and accustomed to seeing him playing. So tough, man. I'm sure Celtics fans are pissed, but it's not the end all be all, man. Still got an opportunity to go out there and win this series. But we'll turn to page 2. We also had just the other day, Derek Carr decided to retire from the NFL. He,
DC.
DC battled a shoulder injury from last season. I know he, jumped over somebody or something, laying on his shoulder. That was like his last play in the NFL, and will require him to have another surgery. He just decided, I'm not doing that. Those surgeries, they take a toll on you. You still got a life to live, post football. So he decided to retire. He's one of my 2014 draft classmates. He had a good career, man. I know a lot of people like to give Derek Carr a ton of flack, but he really had a very good career in my opinion. Played on some played on some not so great teams, out there in Oakland, and then now in Vegas, and then went down to New Orleans and everything, and didn't go the greatest in New Orleans, but he's a great overall dude, man of God, man. Definitely dude I would love to be my teammate, love to be my quarterback. Shout out to you to be able to make that decision, go out on your own terms, and walk away from the game. And good thing, the Saints drafted a quarterback. So Tyler Show is going to be real interesting to see if he can win that battle. With those quarterbacks there, who they got Hayner and they got what's the young dude, Spencer Rattler as well. So that'll be interesting to see how that shakes out. I feel like that seat gonna get real hot for
everybody.
Yeah, for everybody. Real quick in year
They're
one.
Gonna regret not getting Shador. They're gonna regret it.
So it's gonna be interesting. I mean, we'll see. We'll see, man. You gotta let the kid. I'm surprised that Tyler Show went before Shador, but I mean the kid, he seems to be talented. We'll see how it works out for him. We never know how all these draft picks are gonna work, for their football team. As long as it's a great fit, it's gonna be very interesting to see how that works out. So I don't know how y'all feel about Derek Carr's retirement.
Hello, is this Mr. Discount Double Check? Hey, if I'm New Orleans, man, I'm trying to figure out how I can get Aaron Rodgers in the building. And I know there's a lot of controversy around 12 still. And you look at the season that he was able to have last year, probably not the best when it comes to wins and losses, but he had a decent year. Not what we've normally seen from Aaron Rodgers, but still a decent year with everything that happened in New York. Losing DC is gonna be it's a heavy loss because you're losing your quarterback of your team, but you're losing a leader in that locker room, especially of a team that has so much, right? You're talking about from the fans with culture, a lot of vet guys in there with Cam, Cam on the edge rushing. I know you still got Tyrann Mathieu back there. I mean, they always have a really good defense. They just got to figure out how they can get that offense back to what Drew Brees left it at. And I think right now it's a win now moment. You got to be able to bring a quarterback in that's going to win now. Not saying that the young guys can't, but we're seeing year after year, we might see one or two quarterbacks that come in league ready. And, you can't put that pressure on a lot of these guys because like Tom Brady said in previous interviews, it takes time to learn all the defenses and looks that you're going to see from a lot of these teams. A lot of these defensive coordinators are going to throw some crazy stunts and looks at these young guys because they haven't seen it yet, especially coming from the college level. So I just think you got to get a vet in there right now. And Aaron Rodgers is still, if he play football, then I'm knocking on your door.
Yeah, so that's a pretty good answer, right?
And you can do all that stuff. You listen. You do all that. Just make sure you need to
throw that ball.
I'm surprised you want him in your division. Because if he gets some good weapons around him, a good offensive front to protect him, bro, he might.
They got decent weapons.
We ain't scared.
Got Rashid Shaheed. They got Olave. Juwan Johnson.
Who gonna stick Drake London, man? And then I know y'all see they saying Kyle Pitts. Like I know he been tripping, right? But come on now, Kyle. It's time, fam. It's time. Like, come on, bro. Year after year, I'm telling y'all, boys. This year the year. Like, come on now, Kyle.
So if I pick him up on my fantasy team 3 years in a row and he don't produce, you gonna pay me that money I put in the league?
No, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because when you listen, when Warren talk trash about him, he had a craziest game. Like,
every time.
Every single time. Every single time you talk trash about him, he go out there and score like 3 touchdowns.
Bro, literally.
So keep doing your job, bro. Keep hating on him.
Hey, not to go back too far, but hey, we play y'all on the road this season.
Also, y'all do play us. Y'all come to the A.
Y'all play? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all remember
it?
Fam, I want
Flip this.
key lime pie,
You want-
fam.
I'm
No whipped cream, just pie and
I'ma
crust.
give
Like,
Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm 31-13. LA in Atlanta.
31-13 is crazy.
damn.
31-13.
Do you ever
I-
predict like reasonable stuff?
Yeah, bro. Like,
It's
you
like-
That is reasonable.
y'all defense not even that good.
Hey, what?
No.
not.
Hold on. No, y'all not good. Y'all got edge rushers. I give you that.
We're not good. Are you serious?
Nah, Warren.
We're gonna be even better this year.
Who gonna stop?
And we were young last year. We made it to we made the playoffs, played very well, came back after starting 1-4. Do y'all forget that? That was also partly our
that 1 and 4, bro.
He started with
Wow.
That don't
That
matter,
was
man.
partially because of our defense just as much as our offense.
Fam, we got. Hey, ain't gonna lie, bro. When we get popping, we got to send you out to LA on a money down trip, bro. Get you in there with Sean McVay or something like that.
We gotta send him to Hawaii for the mini camp.
For the mini camp, man.
Mini camp, LA. You gotta see
camp,
Hawaii,
bro.
man.
I don't think it's nobody a bigger fan than him, bro.
Hey, yo, want to raise now. Hey, but shouts out to Derek Carr, bro. I just definitely, before we get off of that topic, like, it's awesome when you can make the decision on your own to step away, right? Obviously, you want to see guys play for as long as they can, and you got guys that'll play till the wheels fall off, legit till the wheels fall off, right? Because that's what they've been wanting to do. But when you can step off the field on your own accord, there's just some kudos that need to go to that, right? Just to have made the decision, you know, the importance of your family. Not saying that those that play till the wheels fall off don't value their family as important and things like that, but for a guy like that who, you know, media has trashed him a lot, fans have trashed him a lot, you know, to be able to keep his head, you know, during interviews, be the same on the field and off the field, and then just to be able to step off on his own accord, right? Obviously, an injury hindered him and whatnot, but to be able to say, hey, I'm healthy now, I'm good, but I'm going to go ahead and hang it up myself. To be able to do that on your own, I mean, that's hats off to him. That's a good feeling, you know, so wish him continued success off the field, too, with his family and everything else he has going on.
Most definitely, man. We also had, you know, last week, George Pickens was traded to the Dallas Cowboys from the Steelers. I mean, that kind of caught me off guard a little bit.
It did, didn't it?
It happened like early in the morning too, like 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. It was kind of random. I know, obviously, you know, he's a little bit of a personality and whatnot as far as on the field. I don't know, you know, how he really is off the field and whatnot, but he's a good football player, talented, has all the tools to be a number one receiver and be a top tier receiver in this league. Goes to Dallas. You know, now CeeDee Lamb has a little bit more help on the outside, a guy who can attract a little bit of attention, so he may not see as much, you know, double coverage and things of that nature. Dak Prescott gets another weapon. It's just all about, you know, what's going to be his attitude, you know, going forward on the field. Can he keep himself, you know, motivated and locked in if the ball's not coming his way to go out there and win? Because I believe I saw him, you know, post a tweet or on IG that, you know, they have a winning culture there and he just wants to win, which the Steelers have a winning culture too, and y'all won football games there. So I don't know what he's necessarily saying about that. I thought him learning, you know, from DK would have been good too for those two to play together because they almost, you know,
identical.
They're the same.
Yeah, almost like a same type person. Just DK a little bit more, you know, how to control himself a little bit more. He explodes sometimes too, but he can control his temper a little bit more than George Pickens can. So what did this move do for the Dallas Cowboys?
I mean, the fans and all that stuff was on their head for not taking a second receiver to help out CeeDee. So I feel like Dallas really had to figure it out from a standpoint of like, what other weapons are we gonna give Dak on the perimeter? How are we gonna help take some pressure off of CeeDee? So you had to figure it out because last year it was a need. It was something that you really needed, right? So to not answer that in the draft, to be able to now, you know, post draft, off season, figure that out, get you another receiver that's going to take off. And you're talking about Pickens got a lot of potential. You know what I'm saying? He can command a lot of targets. He's a physical receiver. He's a bigger receiver. He's not, you know what I'm saying? He's not one of those like, oh, okay, just we're going to take a little bit off of CeeDee. Like he can change a game too now. So, I mean, to be able to make the moves necessary to go get a receiver like George Pickens, I think it's huge for the Cowboys organization. I think that they're going to do a lot better on the offensive side of the ball this season with the picks that they've made, and the fans should feel a lot better about it too.
Yeah, I think it's a major move. I think it's a big move, and they had to make something a move like this of that nature because you look at a division, right? Philly ain't going nowhere. They continue to get better, and then Washington as well, and then the Giants. I know we talk about the Giants, but if you think about from a defensive standpoint, the receivers that you got to face out of that conference, because with Philly you got to face D. Smith and AJ. With Dallas, you got to face CD and Pickens. You talking about in Washington, you got to face Scary Terry and Debo and that receiving core. So it was a move that had to be made in order for Dallas to, I feel like, be comfortable with themselves and the way their offense was going to be moving, because it's getting to that point in time where people are starting to, take the clock a little bit with Dak, right? And I think Dak is a really good quarterback. But you always hear that chatter coming in and out of, all right, now, we need to see it. You keep getting these major and these big contracts. Like, when we we ain't really been relevant since Zeke was last there, and not the recent Zeke. We talking about 2015, 26. It was a while ago, right? So, man, it's almost 10 years, bro, since they've been. Damn, that's crazy. That's crazy. But it was a move that had to be made, and it's gonna be super interesting because when GP on, he on, but when he dripping, as our sources have said, I'm
uncontrollably.
So I hope he go to Dallas with a new attitude, learn from CD, but at the same time going there with that big dog mentality. Because like you said, Warren, he can change a game by himself, and now you got somebody that's gonna command the double teams. You go get open and win one-on-ones and change games for us.
Take your top.
100%, man. Yep. And I want to turn the topic to, something that I think is a pretty cool topic, a pretty interesting topic. How people make assumptions about, how players are performing overall, based on a couple clips they may see on Instagram or, somewhere else. They assume, like, oh, this person can't do this, or this person's going to be garbage and this and that. Like, I think for the most recent thing for me was watching Mason Graham at Cleveland Browns, his first day at rookie minicamp. He was, kind of getting a little tired during drills. He threw up, and I saw like somebody tweeted like, "There's no way this dude should have been a first round pick. Bro. Like the talent's not there. Like, look at him. Like where do you see it? It's just like, dude, you taking literally a 20-second clip of a dude, who knows what he did, going overhyped, going out there, maybe a little ate too much, who knows? But you taking that 20 seconds to say this dude did deserve to be a first round draft pick. Did you watch the dude at Michigan?
First off, my first question is, could you tell me who made the comment?
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, some random dude. Like, it might have been like
random, right? It's a random. It's a random. No offense to all fans, but like somebody who's probably never played at that level before, who's probably never played at the collegiate level. The furthest you probably got was Little League, again, maybe high school. Shout out to you if you play high school football, but like, that's a whole different beast. Like, the league, they don't play games. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you get to, and Cleveland probably hot, it's probably super hot. You know what I'm saying? They probably trying to, this is rookie mini camp, so they running you to see who gonna break, who not, things like that. Like, it's not easy, especially in the offseason, because they're going to get the most they can out of you. They're going to push you to your limit. It's not like when you get to the league, it's not a cakewalk. You might hear about practices and things like that being easier in some places than others based on like their schedule, when they put on pads, things like that. But, bro, these workouts are hard. These workouts are strenuous. You're talking about good on good. Like, you ain't playing against the scout team. You're not going against... This is the league. Everybody that you up against is a league talent. Yeah. And they're working just as hard as you because this is your job. So, obviously, first-round draft pick. He was their first pick off the board for the Browns. So, he's not going nowhere, regardless if he plays well or not. But you got other people that you're competing against that wants your job, that wants to play. So, you have to bring out your best, regardless of where you were drafted. You got to give maximum effort. You want to prove something. Right. So for people to say that about a couple of clips where a guy was tired or hearing about a guy throwing up, like, heck, you know how many athletes throw up after a collegiate workout? Bro, my very first collegiate workout out of high school, bro, I puked my guts out for like 20 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
I remember mine. y'all remember. I call my old girl like, "Hey, ma, I ain't gonna lie to you,
bro. You make you think about their life decisions, don't it?
I don't know if this one might be for me, bro. Like, I don't know."
But that's what I'm saying. It's just like, you know, people say stuff just to say stuff. They want clout. They won't clickbait, stuff like that. They want people to comment, make themselves feel heard. Like, that stuff is nonsense. Like, I don't listen to it unless you've actually been through it. Ain't nobody listening.
You don't understand.
You don't understand.
It's outrageous too, because I don't think the fans or people that made that comments, these guys haven't played ball since when they're, you know, for Michigan, what it was probably he didn't play in the bowl game, obviously.
Yeah.
So he hasn't played ball since the end of November, and this whole time he's been training for combine. He probably for drill work,
a few events
to try to eat a certain way so that he can make this certain weight that they want him at, or you know, all that chatter of where you need to be so that you can get selected at the spot that you're selected in. Mm-hmm. Now this is his first time putting on a helmet since November, and actually happened to work on not just bags. We talking about this is somebody across from you that, like you said, Warren, is fighting for their job too.
Yeah.
So although you may have it a little bit easier because you went first round, that guy across from you probably not a lock to be there. So you know he giving it his all as well. And it's just crazy to me. But I think that Cleveland rookie mini camp had a lot of spotlight on it, right? Obviously, I've been seeing clips with Sojourn and Dylan. Like, I can't tell you what Dylan Gabriel did. You know, just from a little
no clips of Dylan.
It's really no clips of Dylan. It's all clips of Sojourn. So I just think it doesn't give you the right feel for it. Before we go, I saw somebody say, I think the Cleveland Browns players took a picture with Sojourn after the camp, after they broke. It was like maybe 20 guys, like, you know, either doing a Sojourn or whatever. And the guy was like, "Oh, you can tell he's winning the locker room already." Like, bro, this is rookie mini camp.
Rookie mini camp.
I'll be legit with you. 80% of them guys not even gonna be there.
Ain't gonna be there in a week.
In a week. So when in the locker room, the real big dogs about to walk through the locker room, the Myles Garrett's, all those that you don't know who's won what yet. So social media is just a tool to give people, you know, patting them on the back and say, you know, my voice and my opinion can be heard, when really I'm gonna say it in a nicer way, but it don't matter.
It is irrelevant.
It's irrelevant, especially the bad comments.
Yeah, it's crazy because you may see somebody doing good on a couple clips that you see on social media, but in reality, they may not be doing so hot, and vice versa. You may see somebody mess it up in a drill or something, or drop a ball, but they may have had an excellent day other than that. But you just see, you know, that one clip, he like, "Oh, this dude's sorry. Oh, this dude, he's very good." I just think you can't make a huge assumption, you know, based on a little clip that you see on social media. So I think a lot of people got to be careful when it comes to that, as far as, you know, with anything, honestly, not even just with sports. Like, don't make an assumption based off what you see on a little clip on social media. Do some research, which in this case, you can't really do any research on, you know, dudes at practice because you don't know. That's only the players that are there watching them and the coaches. So that's just a little.
I think they hating on bro too, because you know he from Michigan, Ohio. They
probably think about that.
State up the street, they probably hating on him because of that.
Yeah, definitely, man. Before we wrap, we got to go to the social standout. Man, I saw this clip on social media. Perker, pull up this social standout. Y'all watch this. Let me know how many grapes y'all in this situation.
But one of them are poison. But every single one you eat, you get £50,000. How many you eating?
I feel like before we answer this question, we have to deep dive into what type of poison are we talking about. Are we talking about like a stomach bug poison, like I gotta go to the bathroom? Or are we talking about like a kind of poison? You know what I mean? Like the poison for Cusco, the poison made especially to kill Cusco's poison. We're talking about that poison. Because if we're talking about the stomach bug poison, I'm gonna go ahead and eat all 1,000 grapes, okay? Because I don't mind a whole day on the toilet when I got that cash money. You get what I'm saying? I wipe my butt with the money because that's how much money I got. That was disgusting, but you get what I'm saying.
But if there was 1,000 grapes and one of them.
I'm either be dead or dumb. Like that comment say, I'm either dead or rich, bro.
You get 50K a grape. How many of them joints you go eat?
I'm gonna go.
50.
I might crack about 100 of them things.
That's it. How much a grape? How much?
50K a grape.
50K a grape? Well, I'm cracking at least 500. Hey, at least. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pop a grape. I'm gonna dump a grape. I'm gonna pop a grape. One of them grapes that I've done dump is gonna be the poison grape, bro. I'm telling you, there ain't no way. Speaking 500 grapes, I'm gonna die. No way. 500.
Yeah,
minimum.
I don't know how many I'm gonna eat, but I just know I'm either gonna be dumb rich or y'all boys gonna be sending me on my way, y'all.
Hey, no, hey, but you hear? Hey, but we say that now. But when you in the moment, bro, cut that thing by like 70%. I might eat like.
I ain't gonna lie, 50. I might. Y'all about to say,
50K, I might, 50K a grape.
50K a grape. Dang. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Grapes hey, you listen, you find the right. Me and my family was talking about it. It was like, what's the best fruit? I was like, bro, I ain't gonna lie. If you find the right batch of grapes,
candy grapes.
You gotta find the right batch though. It gotta be like, you know, sometimes it be too
mushy.
soft or mushy.
You want to hear that snap when you bite into it. You want the juice. Yeah.
And the juice, bro, you find the right batch of grapes, man. I eat all 1,000 of them things.
Bad.
We got a question.
Here we go. How hard is it to block out or ignore social media when you deal with reporters ask you directly about trending stories and controversies? I don't think it's too difficult, honestly. I mean, I played, you know, in New England where, you know, they literally, you get coached on, you know, how to handle the media. So you can answer a question however you want to answer it. You can direct it to coach. You can flip it however you want to flip it. So I don't think it's too difficult. I know some guys get frustrated if they could consistently ask the same questions over and over. I think it's the hardest when you're not performing well. I think that's the most difficult time because, you know, obviously a lot of the questions are going to be about how you aren't performing well, and to sit there and have to talk about yourself not performing well consistently, that's hard, man. But to me, I mean, you can be truthful, don't beat yourself up or nothing like that. And when it comes to controversy, I mean, like I said, you can answer however you want to. You can deflect it. You can keep it more positive on how you can figure out ways for you can be better or somebody else to be better, or kind of diffuse, you know, the topic that they're trying to do to get some clicks and this and that nature. You control the narratives at the end of the day. You can answer it however you want to answer. And I think, you know, a lot of times when guys blow up, I think it's just a lot of, you know, for especially after games, it's hard, like to decompress, you know, 10, 15 minutes after you might just not perform well and get into the locker room and have to answer some questions about how you just did something wrong when you haven't really gotten a chance to fully even think about it. Like it's hard. That's why you see a lot of these situations that happen, like a la like Cam in the Super Bowl, you know, different situations like that. I mean, it's a lot running through your mind in just those, you know, 5 to 10 minutes after you break it down. When you really probably just want to have some time to yourself, you can't. I mean, like it's our obligation to have to, you know, talk to the media and everything. So it is an interesting thing, especially now, man. Fans could reach you at the click of a button, man. Like you don't perform well, or you know, some type of information comes out about you, man, you might as well delete the maps. Like,
yep.
I'm dead serious. Like, it's crazy and it's unfortunate. You know, honestly, I'm like, obviously I like social media for what it is. Like, there's a lot of positive things that come from it, but there's a lot of negative that comes with it too. And then a lot of people are just trying to get a reaction, you know, out of you and try and do different things to, you know, kind of pick at you. I don't necessarily know what their reason is for it. I don't know whether they're trying to make themselves feel better or whether they're trying to tear somebody else down, what their ulterior, you know, motive is. But it's hard, man, because, you know, everything can be going well, and then boom, like it just completely shifting. For some dudes, like in certain situations, like some things that happen in games, they stick with you for life. Like especially like in a Super Bowl or something, or a big game, you don't perform well. Like people like never let you live that stuff down, which is, you know, like I get it. Like we play sports, make money and all that stuff, and it's a part of the territory. But it just like to be constantly reminded about something that you messed up on, that's hard. Like I get we athletes, we may be quote unquote tough, like and all that, but we got feelings too, man. Like I know we like to be tough and this and that, but that joint hurts. Like to consistently hear about what you've done wrong, like for the rest of your life, like that's not cool. But I mean, I know a lot of people don't really think about that. They're just like, oh, it's just a tweet. I'm just trolling and this and that, which like I said, that's a whole nother topic for another day. But I don't know how y'all feel about the whole answering, questions from reporters and stuff.
Man, as long as if you troll, know that you might run across somebody who don't care about none of that, right?
Yeah.
And you're starting to see it a lot more nowadays with the athletes and basketball, football, all these other sports. They have more power now, and guys will cuss you out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then when a fan get that reaction, they try to play the whole like, oh my bad. Like, no, this is the reaction that you wanted. Don't play victim now. I think it can be a little hard, especially in nowadays, right? Like you said, you can go to a game, you could play in a game, and you could be playing extremely well. And if you make one mistake, or that could be a give up a game-winning touchdown, or you fumble the ball and your team ends up losing, and you come back to your phone and you literally have DMs from all type of people, and we're not talking about just like hold a ball or anything. We got guys actually getting death threats from these type of games and mistakes, and I just don't think it's fair from the media standpoint and reporters. You just gotta pick and choose. You gotta kind of assess the situation and know as a player how I want to answer it. Like you said, James, you control the narrative. You can give the media the answer that they want, or you can get in there and kind of do the Bill approach where it's just like, that's not related to football. I don't even care about that. And it needs to be a dry answer. And it's not going to be liked by some people, but at the same time, who cares, bro? Because these same reporters, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of good reporters out there, but these same reporters sometimes when you on the roller coaster and you high and everything's rolling with you, you feel like, man, that guy right there, that's my buddy. I can go and I can have that conversation. But the minute you mess up, it's gonna break your heart when you see
that tweet.
Sojourn Shelton tweeted, blah 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 blah. Play, dude. It kind of just throws you off because it's like, man, I thought you were one of the people that but at the same time, you're just doing your job. Your job is to critique and report. So I think it's a thin line, but as a player, you gotta assess the situation and you can answer it from there.
About you, Warren?
I like how you said that, Soj, about like, as a player, you got to really be careful about how you answer things. You got to pick and choose your battles because ultimately, truth be told, you know what I'm saying? Like the media, social media, that can really impact your career. Like
for sure.
As much as your performance impacts your career, who you are as a person, things like that, the people that these coaches and things like that get to know in the recruiting process, the draft process, so on and so forth. Social media plays a big impact on your career. Like we saw it firsthand this past year this past draft with Shador, right? Like that may not, obviously we see what we see on social media and whatnot, but for the people that know him, they might know him as a humble dude, a guy that is there for all of his teammates, a great teammate, great person, so on and so forth. But what you see on social media and the things that people talk about is what affected his draft status, right? Or what one scout said about his interviews and things like that. Again, I didn't do all the research and get into the digging and like what everybody that spoke to him said about him, but just like he went from being one of the second quarterback off the board to being a fifth round draft pick?
Yeah.
To the fourth, fifth.
Yeah,
fourth or fifth. He went on the third day. I mean, and that was all because of social media, news outlets posting about what one analyst said about his interviews, what one scout said about his interviews and things like that. And that may not be who he is in general. Again, we're talking about a guy with a lot of star power, but it may not even be true. So I think it's easy to take the route of just like you said, deferring it to coaches and saying, oh, hey, we played a great game, or it is what it is. It's easy to do that, but sometimes when it's in the moment, the heat of the moment, it's hard, bro, because we are all human, bro. We have stuff that run through our minds and things that we want to say, and sometimes we just got to really take captive our thoughts, right? Before we start speaking it out to everybody, because not everybody's collecting this information for your best interest. Even the media outlet that has written good reports on you, their boss could say, hey, I need something heavier than this, right? And there they go, getting you saying something that you don't normally say. And now it's the biggest news that's ever happened outside of all the good things that you said or the good things that you've done, right? So I thought that's another thing. The negatives weigh just as much as a positive. So is it easy? Yeah, it's always easy to defer it, but in the moment, nah, man, it can be tough, especially like you said, big moments, Super Bowl, NBA Finals, national championships, things like that. Like those are the moments, big games, when fans start getting to popping off or people start saying things about you. Like people want to defend themselves. It's hard to be like, that's not who I am. Like, keep my name out your mouth. So just write it off, right? Because then, you start writing it off or you start ignoring it. Some people might start thinking it's true. Oh, you're not defending yourself because that's what they want, right? So, no.
I think it's not fair, too. I think it's not fair and I don't know the solution at how we could maybe, help this situation out. But I don't think it's fair for the leagues, like the NFL, for example, to, after guys lose games, I think it should be more of a grace period for more than just 15 minutes. And I think we try to sit there and portray and act like, these athletes don't have feelings and use the Cam Newton, play for an example in the Super Bowl. Yeah. Hell, honestly, I think Travis Kelce this past year, the Super Bowl, his after the game interview didn't go so well as either. So I just think when you put guys in big games like that in moments, and James, it's so hard to get to the Super Bowl. You look at Cam, for an example, had one of the best seasons ever and never sniffed that moment ever again, which I'm sure he probably play it now and it's just like, man, of course I would have jumped on the ball, but and that he didn't, and that was spotlighted afterwards in such a big play and such a big moment. And the first thing when I come off the field, I still got my pads on and everything, is you asking me, why didn't I do this? Yeah. So what reaction? And I just think from a NFL standpoint, what reaction do I think I'm gonna get from this player, right? Like if you put Roger Goodell on the stand, maybe and his response might be different. But if something crazy happened in the league and you put him on in front of all these media people and they ask him a touchy question, you might see him react a certain way that we've never seen him. But for the league, they get an opportunity to sit back or we'll think about how we're gonna approach this situation versus coming off the field right away. You don't have that moment. That moment just happened 20 minutes ago. And here it is. I'm trying to take my pads off, and I got a reporter asking me about a mistake that I made. I just don't think it's fair.
But to your point, I mean, we also got to think about it. Like there's no world in which the NFL or any other sports organization changes that policy. Reason being is because the NFL, all of these sports, like a lot of their money comes from network TV, media, news. So if the news, the media, social media is not getting what they want, those rises, those reactions, those post games, then that's less dollars that these sports organizations are going to be bringing in, right? So ain't no way the NFL is going to say, well, we're going to give them a couple of hours to
to decompress for sure.
To decompress, because if the news, if social media and all that stuff starts getting these plain Jane answers because people have now decompressed their thoughts, they're not going to get what they want. Ultimately, you're not going to get as many viewers. It's not going to be as exciting. People, it's an evil world, dog. And people are evil. People are cruel, bro. People are about the money, man. And they're going to do whatever they can to do that, regardless of your well-being. Again, these sports organizations say, oh, hey, we're for the players. We try to do things right by the players, but we see it every turn that's BS, right?
Pull a Marshawn, bro.
I mean, they doing their job, man. They got to do it. And like I said, ain't nothing wrong with showing your personality neither. I mean, look,
it's not.
Every now and then, nothing wrong with checking a reporter or whatever you got to do to make sure you feel like you're not getting disrespected. Not saying that you got to call somebody out their name or try and be violent or anything like that, but if you feel like you need to check somebody, then do that. I will say that.
But that's the problem, though, is because when you do that, like it mars your image, depending on what you say, it mars your image. That could affect your paycheck. It could affect your next job. Like it, regardless of what you say, it comes back on you. So if you check somebody, bro, that can fall back on you in a very negative way, depending on who you are.
No, you gotta do it a certain type of way. I ain't saying like you like full blown cuss nobody out, but there's a certain way you can check somebody. Like, you know, I'm like you did see, I saw you wrote that article about me. Like what'd you mean by that? Like, so
What
like,
you mean by that?
But
you know what I'm saying? Like,
and I know we gotta go, and you know the crazy thing is a lot of these reporters tuck their tail in and be like, "Oh, I didn't mean it like that." Like, no, you meant it like that.
Stand in it. Stand in it.
And you ain't think I was gonna say something to you about it. It's like I know we got it, but think about for you, for example, James. Like, I don't think people see you as so quiet, but they don't know. Like, if it's something that need to be checked, you gonna check it.
Check it.
Let them hands fly. Let them hands fly.
We ain't
I ain't letting my hands fly. I ain't doing that.
I'm just playing.
But I'm saying, like, if a reporter probably said something, and if it needed to be checked, and you felt, you'll check it, and it'll throw them off so much because they like, oh, I didn't think you was, and they tuck your tail in, and now you talking, now you want to play victim. Nah, you can't do that, bro. You can't do that.
Yeah, it's a funny game, man, but you gotta try and find that balance, man. Like I said, you can't be too rough on the people, and then you don't want to be too soft, let people, you know, take advantage of you and say, you know, just anything about you. But you gotta go, man. It's a wrap, man, for this Money Down podcast on the Believe Network. Appreciate everybody tuned in on YouTube, Instagram, however you tuned in, Twitter, Space, whatever, X. Appreciate you guys tuning in to us. We back again, you know, live next Monday. Appreciate you guys on TikTok too for tuning in. You know, keep liking, keep subscribing, keep showing love, man. It's fun doing this, and like I said, don't be scared to interact too. Like, I love the people putting in questions and, you know, statements, things of that nature. We love for it to be interactive. So
hit us on the
appreciate
Discord.
you guys tuning in.
Hey, C's fans, I know y'all, but 6 and 6.
Appreciate y'all tuning in.
Load it up, Carl. This shit feel like